This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Rear brake pads renewal. Select first gear and apply the handbrake. Chock the front wheels, then slacken the rear wheel bolts. Then jack up the rear of the vehicle and support it on axle stands. Remove the rear wheels. Release the handbrake and remove the centre console insert mat. Slacken the handbrake adjuster nut. Disconnect the handbrake cable from the caliper arm and remove the outer cable to caliper retaining clip. Unclip the cable and remove it from the caliper. Unscrew the lower guide pin bolt while counter-holding the guide pin with an open-ended spanner. Remove the bolt. Pivot the caliper upwards, slide the caliper and guide pin from the mounting bracket and remove it to one side. Take care to prevent straining the rubber hose. Remove the inner and outer pads from the caliper mounting bracket. Remove the pad seat shims. They can be discarded because you'll need to fit new ones. Clean the caliper and mounting bracket with brake cleaner and a brush, but be careful not to damage the rubber dust covers on the caliper. Before you retract the brake piston into the caliper, connect a brake bleeding kit to the caliper bleed screw and clamp off the flexible brake hose leading to the caliper. The piston needs to be rotated in a clockwise direction to be pushed back. This tool is readily available. Open the bleed screw as the piston is retracted. The surplus brake fluid will then be collected in the bleed kit vessel. Close the bleed screw just before the caliper piston is pushed fully into the caliper. This should ensure no air enters the hydraulic system. Once the piston is fully retracted, unscrew it slightly until the next piston cutouts are visible through the front of the caliper. Check both sides of the brake disc and replace if necessary. Fit the new lower and upper caliper shims. Apply a little high melting point copper brake grease to the pad backing plate contact areas on the guide plates. Ensure the grease doesn't contact the disc face. Fit the inner pad to the caliper mounting bracket, followed by the outer pad. If present, remove the protective film from the pad backing plate. Apply grease to the upper slide pin and slide the caliper into position in the mounting bracket. Ensure the guide pin rubber boot engages correctly. Fit and lower mounting bolt and tighten. Refit the handbrake cable to the mounting bracket and secure with the retaining clip, then reconnect the cable end to the caliper lever. With the brake pads installed, depress the brake pedal repeatedly until normal, non-assisted pedal pressure is restored and the pads are pressed into firm contact with the brake disc. Tighten the handbrake cable nut and raise the lever to check for free play. Tighten the nut until satisfactory handbrake travel is achieved. Apply the handbrake and the foot brake 5 times. Apply the handbrake by 2 notches and rotate one of the rear wheels to make sure it is being partially retarded. If not, or the brakes are applied too firmly, adjust the handbrake cable nut accordingly. Refit the centre console insert. Refit the rear wheels and lower the car to the ground. Close the bleed screw just before the caliper piston is pushed fully into the caliper. This should ensure no air enters the hydraulic system. Once the piston is fully retracted, unscrew it slightly